Welcome to another episode of the Renovated Thinking Podcast. We got over here, we got Ray, we got Jade,
We out here.
and it's me, Dion, man. We here to have a conversation. Another episode. How everybody doing?
Blessed.
Pretty cool.
We blessed? We
Pretty
good?
cool.
We good?
Pretty cool.
That's what I'm talking about. I feel
Stay
blessed
focused.
too.
Hey man, today's a good day.
Yeah, today's a good day. First of all, happy birthday to Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Yeah, happy birthday, man. So
Appreciate 'em.
now let's get into the topic, man. Staying focused, staying on key, doing what you got to do.
On point.
Yeah, stay on point, man. This is going to be a very interesting one to go through. You guys probably don't know yet. It's because there's some things that I have noted down that I wanted to share. We're gonna share throughout the episode, but yeah, it's something that it's some things that we're gonna talk about in this episode that a lot of people don't really think about. When you hear motivational speaking and you hear other podcasts and stuff like that, it's general, but I really want us to get in depth on the word focus, like really in depth. Okay. So, what do you guys think about when you think of what it means to stay focused for you, for yourself?
For me, mainly being persistent
Being persistent.
when it comes to what I do. Being on track. Keeping the mindset of I gotta get this done. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah. And a lot of people, she said persistence. The thing that's funny about that word is a lot of people align that word with the word consistency. Consistency and persistence is something that when people think of those words, they think of the same thing. When the difference is actually the fact that consistency is just being able to stay on cue the whole way through.
Right.
That you're continuously doing what you've been doing, and it's not a high-low situation like you're
Right.
going straight through. But persistence is being able to do what you have to do and stay consistent
Yes.
regardless of the odds that are against you.
Yeah.
That's what persistence is. So persistence is something that consistency is within, which makes it harder because there's different elements to being. You could be somebody who's consistent, but if you're not persistent, your consistency will fall at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a little. There was one time, for some reason, I don't know, and I didn't even know that. You could ask me that a year ago, I wouldn't have known that. But for some reason, I looked that up in the dictionary and I saw that. So that was something I felt like I should share with y'all. So what about you though, when it comes to staying focused?
Staying focused. I feel like staying focused is something that you have to first. You have to realize what you have to stay focused on. You got to realize your target, because you can't really focus on something if you don't really know what you're focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you have to identify what you need to focus on first. And then once you identify it, then you can kind of focus in on it. However, some people like you said, sometimes you can get a tunnel vision when you focus. I feel like you have to be cognizant of your surroundings while being focused.
Yeah.
So that way, like you said before, in last week, we don't neglect some of the important things that we have going on throughout life. Because at the end of the day, while you staying focused, it's like an ostrich. They got their head in the sand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you working, and you grinding, you pushing, you striving, you trying to progress. And you forget that it's everybody else's life is going on around you. And then when you finally take your head out the sand from working and grinding, you're like, whoa. Little Timmy, then your cousin done got big. You know what I'm saying? Your mom, somebody's auntie then got old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Older and stuff. You realize, you could have been there a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. It's nothing wrong with staying focused, but sometimes you can't let that focus. You can't lose sight of the other things around you.
Right.
My
While
God.
being focused.
That is a lot of what was on my notes. I kid you not. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, man. That's crazy because
Because there is a such thing as being too focused.
there is a such thing as being too focused, man. And
And
it
some people may not think that that is a problem.
mhm.
It can be.
Right.
It's like you said, you can neglect your surroundings.
And it can affect you.
Yeah.
Being focused, and it'll happen in ways that marinate in your life over
Yep.
time. Because when you think about it, you could have, for example, of a father, like say there's somebody who, he became successful. He had, the children, he had the wife, he had the family, and he's a millionaire, he's a billionaire, and he's doing the work to build wealth for his family. And that's always what he wanted.
Right.
And that's what he works hard towards. But he doesn't realize that when he has that wife feels neglected.
Yeah.
And she's in a nice house, she's driving a nice car, and life seems good, picture perfect to the people, in her surroundings. But at the same time, she's not happy within her marriage, the person that she's sleeping in the bed with, and that becomes a problem.
Right.
And he could be so focused on, I wanted to give my family everything material wise, in a monetary way.
Yeah.
And look at, the wife 15 years down the line and really think like, how are we unhappy? Like, where did this whole thing happen? And you don't even catch it. Then you realize that you didn't have a relationship with your kids. That's something that a lot of people go through, having old school fathers who went to work, and they felt like the job to do for them was providing.
Right.
And the mother nurtures. And then years down the line, they see that even though in a monetary way they gave their children everything, it seems like that mom is the one that the kids are more attached to.
Right.
And the father would feel some way like I was there and I did my job as a father. Why does it feel like on Father's Day, Father's Day is different from Mother's Day? And I'm not saying that, it's a sad situation. I feel like we should always appreciate both parents. No parents are perfect, but at the same time, that comes from a sense of we're human beings, and we need nurture.
Yeah.
And that's something big that I had to learn, because I'm really big, as the reason why I'm here, I'm really big on staying focused and being able to be persistent, be consistent, do what I have to do.
Right.
And one lesson that that I spoke about last week is, I have to stay aware of what's going on around me in the midst before my siblings get older, and I have it, and and I noticed that the people who I was close to, who I came out with, aren't as close to me anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that happens through being so focused all the time. And that's why I suggested that we should definitely tap into it, come out.
Yep.
Tap into it, come out, and let the people know who's there that you're going to be doing that before you do that, because that's what I've been doing lately. And it works because it gives people a better understanding. Oh, he spoke to me about that last week. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I knew he was going to be busy. He let me know he'd be around less, so I don't got really nothing to worry about. Yeah. So the communication with that is key. So that's the big thing with staying focused, is for the people who are focused, being too focused is a thing, because there are different elements of life than money. There's different things of life than just being famous. Because we got a lot of famous people out here who have kids, who the kids resent their famous parents because, they're famous. And it looks like, why are you complaining about being this person's son or this person's daughter? Like, I wish.
Yeah, right.
No, you don't.
You don't know what I go through.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody have a story. Everybody, no matter who it is.
Yeah. So, that's the big thing for me about what it means to learn how to be focused.
Right.
Making sure that it doesn't cause you to go down routes that you don't want to go down.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you'll put yourself in holes that you don't even notice you putting yourself in
Right.
with certain people.
Hmm.
And my relationships that I have with people are, even though I'm really bullheaded, it is important to me to know that my relationship that I have with people are okay. And there's some times where I can have people around me who feel some type of way about what's going on, and I have no idea
Right.
until they say something.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they say something, I'm like, dang, you feel like that? Wow. I promise to you it's not intentional. There's nothing wrong with us on my end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. But if that's how you feel, man, I'm willing to do what I got to do to make things better if it's worth it.
Right.
And for the people who are around me today, everybody who are loose ends in the past and stuff like that, I let them go. But the people who's around me now, like those relationships are really important
Right.
to me, and I make sure that I keep up with those no matter what I got going on the best way I can.
Yes.
So that's one thing with being focused now. How to be focused in a sense of getting in the right space, getting in the right mind frame. When it comes to getting in the mind in the right mind frame, we could have feelings of just not wanting to do, even though we know
Yeah.
that we should, and we all go through it. It doesn't matter how good you are at getting your work done. Like I've said, I have a lot higher efficiency than I used to when it comes to getting my work done. There's days that I don't feel like doing business.
Right.
There's days I don't feel like going out, and I don't. But you have to remember why you're doing what you're doing,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
when you remember, it should be able to at least get you up in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
That why. That
Mhm.
why is a
That why.
huge role.
Yes.
I feel like that comes down to the affirmation that we're talking about,
Mhm.
and basically putting your goals tangibly out, and so you can see them. So
Mhm.
whatever you
Yeah.
want to achieve, it's kind of like I can't remember what it's called, like a board, the board that you
Yeah.
put all your goals on. So
Oh,
you
a
could,
vision board.
vision board.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah.
We have vision boards. You could tangibly see what you're trying to achieve every
Right.
day. You can look at
Yeah.
it and
Mhm.
see it
Writing
and know what you're
things
striving
down.
for.
Yeah.
And even state it to yourself. Like, say if you want to be better at public speaking, you can put, I will be a better public speaker today. And you can
Mhm.
cite that every day when you get up. You know what I'm saying? To
Mhm.
remind yourself, what is your goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing, just like you said, um, the why in what you do
Mhm.
is important. If you lose sight of that why that you begin with in the first place, what do you have left?
You're right, because that builds the foundation to a lot of what you do. That is the foundation of the work that you put. Whatever you come out and you do on this earth, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't have to be a creative thing, because not
Right.
everybody's creative.
Mm.
There's people out here they have careers. They've been doing trash
Mhm.
for years. You know what I'm saying? Going picking up trash and
Yeah, that's their thing.
for
That's their
for
niche.
Miami-Dade, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You could ask somebody, yo, why do you do this? They're not there for no reason. I kid you, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And they'll tell you, man, I got 4 or 5 kids at home, and this is how I feed them.
So
That's
is it
why I do what I
because-
do.
This is goal. Exactly.
That's your why.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it could go as far as when it comes to people. If you ask a A-lister, you ask them, why do you keep doing what you do?
Right.
They'll tell you, because you can see the difference in people's careers with
Yes.
the way they treat their careers, how long they do it.
Mhm.
And it goes to show the difference of who they are.
Right. And sometimes I personally believe sometimes when you have a big goal that you want to, something that you want to execute, it is very easy to lose sight of where you're headed in between, trying to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a point where you're so focused on this one thing
Yeah.
and everything else is kind of goes out the window. So, what was the objective in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Remember we talked about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was told one day, which is real. I feel like sometimes you have a goal in mind. Say your goal is to reach this apple or reach this water bottle. But then as you're traveling down the road, you're traveling down this journey to achieve this water bottle, this nice little charger comes along. You're like, oh my God, that charger looks so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I want this charger. So I want to go get this charger. But you don't realize, but that's not your purpose. That's
Right.
not your goal.
Mhm.
Your goal is this water bottle.
Mm.
However, you have to have the discipline to go after that and say, you know what? I'm not going to worry about this charger right now. Let's go worry about this water bottle first.
Mhm.
And then if I have time, energy, whatever, then I go double back for this charger.
Right.
Because you reached your goal already.
Exactly, because I've already achieved my goal, which is in the first
Mhm.
place, you know. So it
And-
happens. It happens. You just have to stay disciplined, you know.
Yes.
Because think about it. Like another example, you want to be
Mhm.
an actor. So you want to be an actor,
Mhm.
but you get a deal to work as a CEO for a company. Financially, it's going to help you,
Mhm.
but you're not going to be happy. You're
Right.
gonna wake up every day like, oh my God, I gotta drag my butt to work and
Right.
do these people and do these things that I don't even enjoy doing.
What?
But guess what? You can achieve your goal if you continue to be persistent to try to be an actor. However, what if you don't make it? What if you don't become an actor? But guess what? You don't have that what if.
Mhm.
Right.
As you get older, you won't be like, what if I would have tried to be an actor? I could have been like Denzel out here in these streets. But you don't know because
But
you
you
never
don't know.
tried.
I done heard a lot of people have that saying, man, if I could be the best this, if I wanted to be the best this, bruh, I would have been able to.
If
I can't stand when people say that, because I'm like, why would you not want to be the greatest at
Right,
something? If
right.
you knew you could be the greatest at
Yeah.
something, I think you would have done it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy when I hear people say that. It's either you do it or you definitely when you're not where you want to be.
Yeah.
Then I'm just looking at you like, so you didn't
What
do
happened?
it because you didn't want to? You know what I'm saying? So
we all got obstacles. We all got obstacles. But if you continue to say, if I was, what if? What are you doing?
yeah.
It's not happening because you're so stuck on that. Well, if I was, okay.
Yeah, and it's important for us to not be stuck on things of the past while trying to be focused on what we want the future to behold. Because a lot of people carry them bags, they carry them the mountains on their back with them, and when you're trying to be focused, there's things that are affecting your focus that you don't even notice. It could be little things. You know what I'm saying? If you were raised without, one of your parents, or if one of you, God forbid, one of your parents died early or something like that, and you live with that hurt, but what that hurt does, it causes you to say, man, if my father was here, if my mother was here, man, things would be different.
Yeah.
Because I'd be able to speak to him, and I can't say I feel that because I don't know what that feels like.
Right.
But if you're going through that, that's something that you can't control,
Right.
and you have all rights to how you feel, really. But the thing is, I know that when it comes to being focused on what's in the future, I think the best thing is to understand that you have you,
Yeah.
and on a personal note, like for me, I look at it as when you got you and you got the higher up, and and you leave it as that, you may have the grievance towards, or the bereavement when it comes to who you lost or who you didn't have, because the
Right.
person who you feel like you've been missing, you really would let that play into what you become, and really think
Yeah.
that you could have been something different because, but because this person
Yeah.
didn't want to be here, or
Right.
because this person was taken away from me,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to,
Right.
get
So
where I
it's-
wanted to go.
In a way, it's sounds like an excuse.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to sound negative, but it's kind of what it is, because you're making it you can make it to where this is why I didn't do this, because
Yeah.
this happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And with you doing that,
Mm-hmm.
you're in the way of yourself,
Yeah.
of what you could have done or what you can do. You're making an excuse, not only when it comes to that obstacle or that person not being in your life or whatever the issue may be. You're holding yourself back.
Yeah.
You can't blame anyone or anything for your actions.
Yeah.
What you do,
Mm-hmm.
you have to
Or not
take
do it.
control. Yeah, you got to take control.
Yeah, you got to take control and and be okay with knowing that sometimes in certain situations it may take time.
Yeah,
It may take time.
and that's okay.
It's okay.
And I also feel like you, just like you say, it takes time. You really do have to let it settle in, and you have to get closure.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes people will have these wounds that they have for years,
Mhm.
and instead of them trying to get closure on it and get understanding, trust me, bro, I'm telling you, some closure you don't even want to open that door.
What?
Oh my God, yo, you don't want to open the door because you don't know what's gonna come out the door. You don't know if it's 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be something you don't want to hear, or know what I'm saying. But guess what? At least you got it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? If you can get it, because sometimes, and that's the worst thing you could do, is not get that closure and let the situation, say if it's a person, let that person pass or let that person go to a point where you can't get that closure.
Mm-hmm.
Now you always gonna have that on your mind. Always, like, if you got something that you need to handle, you need to handle it so you can grow. Because like you said, you're gonna hold you back because you're gonna be jaded. Because I've went through it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get that closure. I had to, because if I didn't, I was hurting me, stopping
Right.
myself
Yeah.
from progressing
Mhm.
as a man and as a person.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do that.
Mm-hmm. You gotta break them chains off yourself and close them wounds, man. Because sometimes you can have wounds that you don't even know exist.
Mm.
You can have some things that you didn't know impacted you. That could, because me, for example, I'm somebody personally. I'm good. Like, I'm good. I've never been through depression or feeling of suicide or anything like that. And there's a lot of people that go through that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that those wounds for those people who go through that, they've been open. And when they get through it, sometimes, most of the time, is because they were able to close it. But then you may have people like say like me. I'm not saying this is the case for me, but you could have a lot of people, like, every time you're around that person, they got a smile on their face. They look good.
Yeah.
Like, they're always good. And whatever you ask them, and they believe in their hearts that they're good.
Right.
It's not even that they're personally, like, really trying to hide something from you.
Right.
It's that
It's not intentional.
it's not really intentional. They're hiding it from themselves, to be honest. For real.
Trying to put on a facade.
Yeah, it don't even feel like it at some point. You can numb yourself
Right.
to it, because it could have been something that happened when you were 3.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's been situations when there's been people who, they would, go through something, like, say they went through something. There were a little child, a little boy, a little girl, and somebody in their family touched them, and they could not bring it up for decades. And seem like, and if they bring it up to that one person they trust, they'll be like, but I don't really dwell on that. Like, it is what it is. But then if you get into a conversation with somebody that's willing to sit there and get in your mind and really dig deep into your soul and be like, what's going on in there? What you got? And
Bring it all out of you.
it'll bring it all out of you, and you will have emotions
Don't
and
tear
wounds that open
apart.
that you don't even realize, bro.
Tear you apart.
Yeah. But you got to let those things go in
Yes.
order to be focused on what you want to be focused on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got to break them chains
Do it for yourself.
for yourself.
Do it
Right.
for yourself.
Do it for your. Have closure with people for your. Have closure with people for yourself.
Right.
Because trust me, I know what it's like to dislike somebody or to have a problem with somebody. And the way that I'm set up, I'd be like, bro, I don't mess with you. I don't mess with you. I'm still like that, but I used to hold it in a way that was not okay.
Right.
Like I like, to be honest, when I would be in certain places, if I see somebody or I'm around somebody who I know I don't mess with, you gonna feel it. Like I don't even gotta tell you nothing. It's gonna be an energy thing where you just gonna feel it. And that's how, and it's honestly, it's a flaw because your energy shouldn't be able to dictate my energy when I walk into a room.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. And that's a problem that I had. So I had to switch that up with myself and be like, no, when I walk in, no matter where I walk into, I'm me. And that's it. And in order for you to be able to do that, you've got to build closure with certain people. You've got to forgive situations and forgive people, not for them.
Right.
You can mess me over. You could do all types of stuff, and I'm gonna be angry, and I may not even be able to let it go that quick. But at some point, you could sit there and I'll be like, man, listen, I forgive you, and leave it as that. It doesn't mean that I'm your friend.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I'm rocking with you like that, like I did before, or anything like that. It don't mean that. But I have to do it for myself.
Right. Don't just say it just to say it. You got to say it and mean it.
Yeah. Right. You got to say it and like, bro, I forgive you. I release whatever dislike, whatever bad vibe, whatever bad energy that is in my heart for you. That bad energy is going to break me down. Right. So for me, I'm not apologize, but I'm going to forgive you for the situation, you know? And even in situations that you know you're the wrong person, when you know you wrong in a situation, that's the hard one for people. You gotta bring closure to that person, so then that you can bring closure to yourself. You know, go to listen, man. I apologize, and sometimes people are the type of people. Listen, I'm sorry, I can't accept your apology. That's it. Or they won't say it directly, but their actions will show that they're not with your apology. Right. But you have to give it to have that peace in your heart, right, to know. And all of that goes to show that those are the elements of taking things off of yourself, so that you can take that weight off of you, so you can move as fast as you can. That's, for example, you know, that's how sports are. When you playing football, when you playing basketball, stuff like that, there could be times where you're too big. Yeah. And because you're too big, you know, you're moving on that court or you're moving on that field kind of different. Right. And you know you need to, I need to get some weight off my knees. Yes. Right. So I can, you know, move the way that I used to, or move the way that I need to. I need to be able to get back on defense in time and stuff like that, because these things affect my life. It affects right, what is the outcome of what I'm in. So with that being said, you have to do the work, just like they will go in the gym and put in the work that they need to take that weight off their knees. They go in, they do all the workouts, so then that when they come back in the next season, that their body is on point and they're where they need to be to get the results that they want to get out of that season, individually, as a team, period, whatever. That's the same situation in life, you know, because in life, it's just like, okay, in order for me to focus on what I need to focus on and get through everything I need to get through, there are certain things I just have to let go. It's some things that you know, you don't really let it go, but at the same time, you got to be able to give yourself, you know, some type of release of what you got going on, or one way or another, it'll affect what you have going on.
I think that sometimes the thing about it is when you hold on to anything that's kind of negative,
Mm-hmm.
kind of holding you back. You can sometimes that can lead to you psyching yourself out, being so focused on what went wrong or what can go wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and it leads you into a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Because it consumed you.
Right.
It consumed you. And there are certain things that consume, and these are this situation what we're talking about now are things that you can't always fault somebody for, because this
Right.
information, things that we're talking about now, aren't things that are always in your control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's things that you go through. Your ability to be able to stay focused for what you want, for your why, it can be affected by something that happened. It doesn't matter the age that you were when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you remember it, it can be traumatizing.
Yes.
It can mess with you psychologically. It can mess with you mentally. And for that, you feel like you're not able to do what it is that you need to do. And trust me, I talk to a lot of people. People have stories. You would not believe what you would not believe the stories I've heard talking to people and hearing their story and knowing the things that they've been through. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got something.
Everybody got something. And that whole thing of having that weight and getting through it and being able to forgive, being able to, break those chains off of yourself is that thing that people don't talk about when we talk about being focused. Because when we talk about being focused, people normally talk about you have to be self-motivated, and you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
You have to be dedicated. And you got to know what you want and all that stuff.
Same thing over and over.
Mm-hmm. But it comes to a point where people are just like, listen, I can't. It's hard for me to be consistent or persistent or have the motivation that I need to, because I went through X, Y, and Z.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You just
figure out how you can get it
right.
done. Figure out your way.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have to write out a plan. Some people have to have a partner or like a support system.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, you just got to figure out your niche, figure out just like learning. Some people can learn visually. Some people have to do hands-on learning.
Mm-hmm.
You just find your way. And that's the main thing about everything, is knowing yourself.
Right.
Once you learn yourself, then you can really see everything. You'll know how to focus. You'll know, okay, well, this person just told me directions over the phone. This not, sir, unfortunately, I need you to come down here, or can we meet so you can show me hands-on, because I'm not going to obtain it that way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Other than saying, yes, sir, I get it, and then you fail.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't know yourself. You weren't confident in yourself to just keep it 100.
Yeah.
I can't learn that way, and I'm going to communicate and let this person know that we need to meet. You're going to send instructions visually, or it just can't be done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I first started school, college, stuff like that, I remember I did something like that. I don't even remember the results that I got. I think it was visual or something. I don't know. But yeah, man, that's something that really plays a role. Knowing yourself, knowing which way that you're able to stay focused, because some people can stay focused just because they know what they want, and I could be one of those people. Like just because I know that I want this, I'm just like, okay, no, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do it, and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to not slow down. But then you have some people who, they will need that partner, like you said,
that push.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'll give you that push, like,
and really, that's what sometimes that's what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it takes. Because if anything, in my experience, that's what it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
For so long, I was just, this person who was just in her own corner. Didn't want to say anything. I couldn't really take advice, because when I took advice, I would have to do something with it.
Yeah.
And I was scared to do anything. Got to a point where, I had that certain person in my life. It was like, you have talent. you can do something,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or you have a voice, you know, but you got to use that. You cannot withhold that from the world. You know, you got to do what's best for you so
Right.
you can be happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, all of that just plays that role into being able to clear that road for yourself.
Mhm.
Because if you don't take that weight off of you, that weight is going to be thrown in the road for you to have to try to step over. And not everybody lives long enough to get through that entire road. Some people go through that road for years,
Mhm.
and then in the lasting
it to
days
beat
of
'em
their
up.
life, is when they finally get what they want. And you know, because one thing that I hear, and this is you know, to go off a little off topic with staying focused, you know, just to just just to you know, when it comes to people, what I realize is one thing that a lot of people want to do is travel.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, if you could travel to every attractive
Yeah.
country
Mm-hmm.
on this planet, you would,
Right.
you know.
Just
And
'cause.
you know, just
'cause.
just to see different things, man. Because I
Yeah.
follow this. There's this page on Facebook. It's called Travel Inspiration, and I see it every time I go down. Sometimes I just go on Facebook to just go on the posts that they
Right.
put up, and they put up all different types of places that you don't even know about.
Mm.
That you don't even know about these places. You didn't know it exists, but it looks like, you know, okay. This is probably just for me.
Get real happy.
This is probably just for me, but like I would go to Universal or Disney, not Disney. It was Universal, and they would have these fake buildings, and you see the lights inside of these buildings, and you look at it and it looks like there's something in there, but it's probably really not.
I don't think so.
But it looks so like you want to walk in. Like I just want to see how it looks because the way it illumines, the way it lights up
Yeah.
and everything like that. You're just like, dang, what would it be like
It's an
to walk
attraction,
inside?
yeah.
It's attractive, you know, to some people.
Mhm.
And there are some places that really do look like that in real life. And there actually are places and you want to go there so bad.
What?
But the thing is that when it comes to being able to do that, a lot of people say, man, I'm gonna do my 30 years at work. I'm gonna retire. And when I retire, I'm gonna use my, you know, my 401k and everything like that. I'm gonna go probably stay somewhere different, stay in the 55 plus
Mhm.
and be able to travel places and everything like that. But the
Live
thing
my
is,
life.
right. But honestly, I want to do that younger. A lot of
Yeah.
people want to do that
Yeah.
younger. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, there's a different route that you just have to be able to take than
Right.
other people. Because for me, I couldn't accept the whole retirement and you know, go do something.
Yeah.
Do it for a good 25, 30 and
No, thank you.
and maybe you can yeah, like, that wasn't for me. So so I knew that I had to be focused
Yeah.
on putting myself in a position where I
Yeah.
don't have to deal with that, man. That's why, you know, I
For
put it.
many, it's cool. That's what they want to do.
That's what they no, but
Hey,
most of the
man.
people who do it don't want to. Most of the people they don't want to. They don't want. If they had the option,
It
if
would
if
not be there.
they would
Yeah.
not be there.
Yeah, you got two different
It's the
sides.
security.
Mhm.
It's the security and stability.
It's security.
Yeah, that's best.
A lot of people want security in what they do, and the truth is, if you want to be great, you cannot worry about security.
You gotta take a risk.
You have to do something different.
Yeah.
You got to do something different than what other people are doing if you want to be something that doesn't exist.
Because everyone will be successful, literally. Like
Yeah.
think about it.
If I could, that's why when people say the you know, and I have nothing against college education when I say this at all. I don't. I promise you. But when people give you and when people, you know, say, listen, what you need to do is go to school K through 12,
Yes.
go get your degree, And whatever career that thing give you, you go do it. You do it for years, and you're going to be able to retire at this time.
Because that's what's expected.
That's what's expected. That's what the security thing is to do.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We all probably
100%.
got grandparents and stuff that we done heard that from. Okay, because I hear it from my grandmother. Okay, there's some people
You'll
who
be set. You'll be set.
It was like a marketing scheme or something.
Uh-huh.
If you think about it, like
Yeah.
the way people talk about continuing education, it's kind of like a way of life. Like it's the norm. You graduate high school, then you go to college.
Yeah.
Or the military.
There's a reason for that. We're not gonna get into that. We not because it'll get ugly and out of pocket in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get into
Save
that
that
another
for
day.
another time.
Yeah, we'll say that for another time. But there's a reason behind that. But yeah, man. So you got to be able to just be focused on what it is that you want. And if you want to be something different, then you got to do things different and figure it out.
Right.
Because what I see for me, what I envision myself being in this world, if you was to ask me an example of a person who, I would want to really be like, there's a couple people who I could say are close to certain aspects. There is nobody on this earth that is like what I want to be. And because of that, I know for sure I can't move normal.
Yeah.
I cannot do the average thing. I cannot do the thing that everybody else wants me to do. And I just need to be able to make certain decisions, make certain risks, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And, when it comes to staying focused and learning and being able to learn and grasp information, one thing that, I realized from people is that when they're focused on getting something, say you're focused on getting a degree, which is no problem. You want to go get that degree, right? That certification. A lot of people need to understand that you need to focus on the education and not the paper that you get at the end of your duration there.
It's more than that, though.
It's way more than that.
You also got to focus on the network and the resources
Mhm.
in your university or your college.
From being in
your
college.
institution. Because a lot of people, like you say, they are focused on just obtain a degree and don't get the education.
Yeah.
That's one.
What?
Then they don't utilize their resources because the school has ample resources when it comes to scholarships, when it comes to internships and other opportunities. They don't even check their school email. Like, bro,
I was one
do
of
you
those.
know how much opportunity? Like, you missed out on thousands of dollars through your email.
I was definitely
Hundreds
one
of
of those.
internships and opportunities.
Things you could have took 10 minutes to sign up for.
Not
Exactly.
realizing.
And it could have been one of the alumnus over there is actually in your field and is working in the company that you're trying to work for. You don't even know because you don't open your mouth because you're too busy focused on just trying to get a degree real quick.
Yeah.
School is more than just education. You feel me? And then networking can be fun too because you can go to an event and have fun and network and meet the right people at the same time.
Yeah.
So you, like we say, you got to be focused, but you can't be too focused because if you're too focused on achieving that, just the certification or that degree, and don't realize, I have to.
Why are you doing this?
Socialize with my roommates, meet my freshman class or meet my classmates. Network to build a relationship with my teachers and my staff.
Yes.
The people who can give me letters of recommendation. People don't even realize that. How was your day, sir? Just talk to some people. Don't even talk to the teacher and see how the teacher doing, bro. That person could pass or fail you, bro. Just let them know that you care. How was your weekend? Your weekend good? Yeah, I was chilling. You feel me?
That was me.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this person is gonna pass or fail you.
Mm-hmm.
So why not act like at least act like you care, even if you don't.
Yeah.
But,
And being in school, one thing good about being in college is you should be able to know where to find the people who have similar interests in you, that you have. You know what I'm saying? If you wanna be into film, and you know where to go find people who are interested in film. You know what I'm saying? You got to just be able to do that, and you can be able to just network with certain people. And you never know the backgrounds people have. People could say, yo, yeah, I'm in school for film because this is what I want to do, but I've been around this all my life, and I have connections to all these type of people.
Yes.
You cool with that person?
Yes.
I'll put you right in, and you'll find yourself at shoots that you never thought you would be in at that time.
Right.
Just because you made that connection with somebody.
And opened your mouth.
You opened your mouth and said something.
Closed mouth don't get fed. What?
Closed mouths don't get fed. That's true.
Like, no, don't shut up.
Don't shut up. You know what I'm saying? So, and also when I say the thing about just the education of college, I know that prerequisites can be annoying, because they are. But once you get over them and you get to those classes that are for your major and for your minor, you know what I'm saying? That education, I think that's something that people need to realize. School will be easy to go through when you realize that the information can do more for you than just pass you in that class. When you realize that knowing this information, knowing what my teacher, what my professor is showing me can impact how I'm able or how good I am at what I do, that could impact the way that you're willing to learn. Because once you know that stuff, you're just like, hold up.
Right.
Like, if I know all of this information, not only can I pass this test, that's just the icing on the cake. I can go out, and once I know this information, once I become a professional at it, bro, I'm there, and I know how to do what I have to do.
I could save a man's life.
Exactly. And when you get there, you're able to be at a high level for what you do, because you were about what you learned, not about the degree at the end, not about the grades that you got at the end of the semester. It wasn't about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I realized about, because people always tell me, yeah, man, people should go get your degree, get your degree, get your degree. I hear that all the time.
Right.
Get your degree. I don't think it should be about the degree, the certification, the way that it is, but that's how it's been. Because at the end of the day, it's really about what you got up here.
Right. I feel and the network and who know you.
Yeah.
You feel me? I feel like after going to school, like you say, I feel the exact same way. Like, don't get me wrong, got a wonderful education, and my teachers did their due diligence as teachers. But I feel like the experience that I've achieved and I've came across in college is like, you cannot pay for that. It's like the friends I've made, the relationships I've made, the experiences that I've achieved. I've literally made Black history. Literally made Black history going to college. Not many people can say that. I helped make Black history going to college.
Yeah, you helped Black history. How did you do that? Tell the people what you did. I helped bring my organization to St. Augustine University in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I helped restart help start my organization in other schools as well. So this being a part of something like that, it's a feeling that I can't even describe it, And then to see young guys, older guys that when the fraternity was there, to see them and their reaction on Hana's back, and to see them, their pride. It's like your something like your child, something that you help mold, and you try to mold the school and build the school to better the environment for the staff and for the people. Right. And then sometimes it comes to a situation where all the brothers in my organization will graduate because we're the smallest in the Divine Nine. So we have to work 5 times as hard to keep ourselves on campus. It is what it is. And so when we get back, it's love, and it's a feeling that you can't imagine, because it's not that many of us. So when it's finally here, when we finally come, it's like magic. Right. we like unicorns. That's dope. Yeah. That's dope, man. Yeah, this is some of the situation, some of what you just told me that I didn't even know. I knew some of it, but I didn't know all of it. Man, that's dope, man.
Details this time.
Details, you know what I'm saying? That's dope.
Details. I'm going to give y'all some war stories later. It's fun,
so
though.
It's
good time.
better to have a purpose, not just sit there and it's like, well, I'm just doing it just to do it because I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because you gotta have your why in what you're doing.
Exactly. Being in that environment of I'm only doing this not for myself, but for somebody else, and I don't even want to do this.
Right.
And
that keep you on track. For real. Because it was times I almost got in trouble. You know what I'm saying? In school, not staying focused. Letting other people dictate my energy.
Yeah.
And
I agree wholeheartedly.
The one, all she had, you're in a fraternity. I was like, oh yeah, you right. Because it's not about me, you know.
Because check yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because if me and him get into an altercation, then you know that's when they want to kick your fraternity off the yard, and then not only do you have to, your brother's gonna be mad at you because you made a selfish decision, an irrational decision, but also now other guys can't join your organization at their school. All because of this choice you made.
Yeah.
That you could have been disciplined within yourself and say, you know what, I'm not gonna let this person control me. I realized that day, the strength is not the guy who you know you can beat, but who got the strength to discipline himself not to do anything. Like I know I can destroy you right now, but guess what? I'm not. You're not worth my energy.
It takes maturity to get there, man. Because you get to a certain point in your life, boy, you ready to fight anybody. Come, you know.
I'm gonna die for mine. I'm gonna die for mine.
Yep.
For real, bro. Be like, yo, on some hostile stuff. Be quick to jump up. Be like, yo, what's up? What happened? You know what I'm saying? But it
takes growth not to.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes growth not to.
You can be to that point where in life it's just like, well, I'm gonna fight anybody. I'm gonna say what I want. You get to a point where you realize that's not gonna get me anywhere.
Right.
And the way people look at me, the way I look at myself, that's the most important. The way you look at yourself.
Right.
You have to take responsibility for your actions. At all times.
If you don't want your children to be nothing like you, there's a problem.
Oh yeah, you need to do some self-reflecting. Because
if I come to you, be like, if I come to a guy and be like, would you want if your son grew up to be just like you, would you be proud as a father? And they say, you got some evaluating to do about yourself, and you need to get it together because that boy is watching you.
That's real.
When they say, man, that is your child, that can either be a positive or a negative.
Your daughter date a man like you? Like what? Date a man like me? If you scared of a dude, if you scared of your daughter date a dude like you?
Oh yeah. That's it. That's it.
Like,
That's it.
Looking crazy in the face.
Be like, nah, I don't want what that.
Like
me? What? I don't even gotta say anything. My face.
He done did back in the day.
Hey, for real though, bruh. But yeah, man. So when it comes to that, man, basically to recap everything, staying focused, a big thing about that. Yeah, you have, and nobody's wrong about what they're saying when it comes to the consistency, staying persistent, having a self-motivation, being disciplined, and everything like that. Right. What you hear from people in a general sense, that stuff is important. It definitely is just as important as what we talked about today. But that thing that I want us to talk about, that we talked about today, and something that I want everybody to work on, including myself and everything, is to know that you have to let go of things to be able to run down that route that you want to run. And the less weight you got on yourself, the faster you're able to run.
Yeah, that's fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. Understanding your why, just like Ray said. Coming to a place where you can forgive people, where you can let things go. Sometimes you don't even have to talk to the person to forgive them.
Oh yeah, that's real.
Be like, just
let it go.
Just let them. I'll let them sit.
Yeah.
You know, if you're the type of person to, block people on social media and all that stuff, as long as you keep that there, that could be a sign of you still having something.
Yeah.
Man, what you don't even got to say something to that person. Just unblock them. Just unblock them. And once they notice, wow, this person unblocked me, but you didn't say nothing to them, that's an indication that you were able to let it go and just. You don't always have to say something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's not worth
But
your energy.
it's not worth your energy. If you know that coming to that person, having a conversation with that person isn't going to do anything for you, you just got to do it for yourself. Be like, you know what? I'm going to let you sit. I'm going to let it be what it is.
Right.
I forgive. It's over. It's the past that's behind me. That's it.
Right.
And I'm just focused on what I have to do.
Right. In order to get to that point, just be aware of the advantages and disadvantages. You know,
Like what?
try to, if anything, just try to catch it, because some people may not think there aren't, any setbacks or drawbacks when it comes to being too focused. There are.
Oh, yes,
There
yes,
are.
yes.
And
We was talking about
we
that.
touched on that.
Yeah, touching on
Just
that
try to
again.
be aware, try to catch it. And if just not don't be so head into this one thing.
Tunnel vision.
Basically.
Because that's what I meant to say. That ostrich analogy he used was so dope, because ostriches, when they see something, they run towards it and they want it, and a brick wall could be in front of them, and they'll keep their head straight off to the side, running, and that brick wall is right there, and they'll run straight into it.
But they know what they heading for.
They know what they're heading for, and that's all they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
I mean, it hit the wall for a reason, right?
and there's that disadvantage to that.
Exactly.
And also for the listeners, I want them to drop some comments in the YouTube and let us know how you guys stay focused, and maybe some scenarios that you want to discuss about as well. So just know that our comment page is always open.
What you notice about yourself when it comes to maybe focusing too much on that objective.
Yeah. And just know that there's things that you cannot neglect. Definitely don't neglect yourself. Definitely, because you can neglect yourself in the process of trying to do something great and not even notice that. So that's another thing.
And some people focus on things that's not even that's not their purpose. So they were trying to understand why it's not working for them, and they're like, I keep trying to do this and it's not doing it. I don't understand.
Yes.
That's not the purpose. That's not what you're meant to do. You keep wanting to be a dancer, but your purpose is to be a public speaker. But I want to be an actor, but you're supposed to be a politician to help the people. So sometimes you keep trying to fight. It's like trying to force us the key into the wrong hole. Like, bro, if it's not working, it might be a reason.
Yeah. So. And that goes to show you that two things that I have to do to stop myself from ever doing that is, one, I got to be honest with myself, remember what my gift is and everything like that. And I ask for reassurance in myself that this is what I want to do.
Yes.
And like I will always say, I go to God about it too, because I got to know if that's what's written, because my life has already been written. And if that is what that is, if that's what I'm meant to do, you tell me whether that's the case or not. And if it is, I will do it. I will do it under you. And if not, then I got no choice but to let it go. And trust me, I have let go of some things I did not want to let go, because what I got from him telling me no, I've been told no before, and I just got to let it go because that's not what's written for me. There's no point in me putting energy towards that when that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. So again, to briefly just tap into that. Yeah. When it comes to just being able to make that choice for yourself, what you want to be focused on, don't let other people decide what you want to be focused on. As a child, I can't really say much, because when you are a child, you are a child. And some decisions just don't lie with you. But most decisions do not lie with you. But
sorry, buddy, you're not in control right about now.
Yeah. So so when you get to the point that you're talking about what you want to do with yourself for your life, you cannot let people dictate. You need to decide. You need to, make sure that decision is made on what needs to be done through you, through him, through the people that's important. You could take opinions. This doesn't mean don't take opinions from people and know how, the people in your life feel about you.
Yeah.
That does not mean that.
Right.
Because I could be doing something or thinking about doing something, and I'll go to my mom and I'll go to some of my siblings. So I'll be like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing this. What you think about that? Different things. They'll be like, I don't know, or go do it.
Yeah.
Or it'll be different things. And I remember when I was 16, 15, I started to really make decisions on my own. And I remember my mom being like I would go to her and I'd be like, yo, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think about that? And she'd be like, I don't think you should do that. Right? No harm, nothing bad in that. She's just like, I don't think you should do that. And then I take her advice and I take it into consideration. Why? Because what she says matters to me.
Yeah, of course.
But it doesn't dictate my decision. And sometimes, what she said versus what I did was completely different. And at first she would look at me like, but I thought I told you. But listen,
it's my life. I have to
it's my life, and it's my decision.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, as I got older, everybody got used to it, and they know that's how I am. Once I decide to do something, bro, that's it. But other than that, yeah, So, just being able to make that decision for yourself, let the weight that's on you, let it go, and just be able to stay focused. That is the foundation of staying focused, and then you have to worry about motivating yourself on a daily basis and the persistence and everything like that.
And it can come just real quick. It can be, at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be in control, but it doesn't hurt to, have that vision in mind.
Oh, no problem. I've had my vision since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
I knew who I wanted to be at a very young age. So there will be people like that. And when you are like that, no matter how young you are watching this podcast, trust me, if you have that and let it be known. Exactly. Let it be known that I want to do things in school that will help me get better at what I want to do. And
right. Yes, I want to do this in life.
I want to do this in life. So let me do it. Let me get better at it.
Right.
That's one thing I was going to say. Like, if anybody some listening or watching this podcast and they under 18, you winning right now because you already ahead of the curve. A lot of people don't have, a lot of children or minors don't have that mindset for self-growth and to better themselves, let alone adults. Because some adults will go their whole life without knowing themselves, their whole life without growing and progressing. They get right after they graduate from high school, they've peaked. High school was their peak.
Oh my God.
High school was their peak mentally, physically, everything. It's on you. To dictate that, because your high school years don't have to be your greatest years. Your college years don't have to be your greatest years. You choose that.
Stop showing me them high school tapes.
You feel what I'm saying?
It's over.
Stop showing me how you used to look in high school, how you used to look in college. Let's see how you look when you 40, 50. You feel me? Because guess what? At the end of the day, if you want to live a longer life, you got to be healthy, bro. You want to live here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to move up eventually.
Yeah, you got to go. So that's it for today, man. That's it for today. We got staying focused. Take whatever you can. Take any nuggets that that we got from the show. Yes. Just like we will work on what you got to work on. And
remember, if you don't believe in you, we believe in you. All right.
Oh, that's the new saying. That's the new saying. We believe in you, man. Exactly. We believe in you. Like, subscribe, comment, the whole nine. We will be back. IG. Yeah, follow us on IG, Renovated Thinking. We will be back next week. See y'all. Peace.
Peace.